Hi, hello. Oh my god, it has been quite some time since I've last uploaded. I believe it was around my 2-year, 9-month update. It has now been 6.5 years with my dreadlocks. I am now 27 years old and there's a lot of change happening in the year of 2022 for me. If you guys can tell by the title of this video, some shit's about to go down. If you are new here, thank you so much for finding this video randomly, and if you are returning, thank you for coming on back. I know it's been some time. If you guys are new, go ahead and hit that sub button. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and hit that notification bell now that I'm going to be uploading some more. You guys are in for quite the journey with me, just wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing okay. Get ready. Before we jump right into the whole process of taking out my locks, I do want to continue with some updates for you guys since it has been a very long time. If you guys are interested in this section of the video, if you are not and you are just here just to see my locks come out, I will be uploading a second video of just the time lapse of my locks coming out. If you guys want to tune in to that as well. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and break down some things and give you guys some updates. So where have I been? Whew! Well, guys, I definitely have moved around quite a bit since the last time I uploaded. Last time I was in Tampa, no longer in Tampa. I went back to Orlando. I am back in my hometown, West Palm Beach. There will be a new location coming soon, which I will share the good news in time. It is coming up pretty quickly. I'm very excited for that next chapter in my life. Basically, I needed time to myself. I felt uploading myself on social media, it just didn't feel right to me at the time. I was going through a lot, and at the time in my life it was not a good time frame. And now that I am 27 and I've made the changes I've made in the last several years, we are at the point now where I could feel like I could start putting myself back out there. I was in a long-term relationship and I'm not anymore. So there's just a lot of new things happening. I'm just taking my time with it all. Now, I know that goes into what has happened with my locks through the year. I've had several pieces fallen off, whether I'm learning a lesson or it was just time for them to fall off. Another update that I have since you guys have last seen me is that I started a clay business. Besides some hair accessories made out of clay, I specifically started it for 𝔤𝔤 beads or like dreadlock beads behind the scenes while I haven't been like too present facial wise. I tapped into my art, just kind of started exploring creativity, seeing what I can make up. I will tell you guys more about that and the shop on Etsy and the Instagram and the Pinterest. I'll drop that all down on my social media dump at the end of the video as well. It'll be linked in my description box. Started that behind the scenes. I started streaming a little bit. With streaming, I haven't shown my face, which is pretty weird given that I did YouTube for a little bit. I was in the time frame where, again, I wasn't feeling confident and didn't really want to show my face on camera, especially when it's live, but I had so much fun learning, just growing with Twitch and getting that started. I've done some clay streams and I've done some gaming streams. So I'll also link that for you guys so you guys can join me one day. What else? Obviously a lot of length has happened. They grew like crazy the last 2 years. Just crazy growth. I have a few pieces that are out to my ass. If you guys ever saw the video, if you haven't, you can check some of the past videos that I've uploaded, but when I colored them, I still have the 2 different sets of colors on them and have not touched them since. I've done several deep cleanses for them. I've had scalp issues. There's been quite a few changes. I've embraced new hairstyles, new ways of wrapping my locks and taking care of them, new products. But right now, all of that's irrelevant since they're about to come out, which leads into next. So, why am I taking out my locks? I did write down everything because I feel like when you do come into completion of doing something, it is great to get your thoughts and emotions out on a completion of something, regardless of what it is. I want to make sure I don't forget any of those reasons, especially when I look back onto this video in the future. So for months, and I want to say since the end of last year, I've had this sensation, this inner voice, this feeling telling me to take them out. It's to the point where it's constant. It's not something that is negative. I think it's just an inner voice in me just letting me know it's time to let go of something. I feel like they've served their purpose. I've always said when I started my locks, regardless of how long I keep them, as long as they give me the purpose that I was searching for when starting them and the reasons why I did, I would take them out in time once completed. I felt like they've done what they were meant to do. They've done the protection that I've needed through the years that I've gone through what I have. I feel like I've learned whatever lessons I had to learn and go through. They were able to give me access to a deeper, more of an inner search of myself, if that makes any sense. I've worked on the intent and the reasons why I started them through the 6.5 years. It's like a completion of a cycle is coming into fruition from when they first started. When I first started, my curly hair was like down to my ass, and when I locked up, they shrunk all the way to above my shoulder and just gave me a new beginning. Now that we are at the 6.5 year mark, they are literally back at the same length that I started them at. So I feel like it is a whole completion of a cycle happening here. I just feel like change is being called for at this point, along with everything else that has been happening. I did lightly mention with the change, I've been having scalp issues. Although that is something that can be easily fixed for those that have locks, I've done what I could. At this time, the scalp issues have been persistent. That's not the major reason why I'm taking them out. Again, you can deal with that issue if you have locks. Tightness as they are starting to grow longer, the weight on them, they're starting to get heavier. Although they haven't Congoed, just the way they're intertwining on my scalp. I've been freeform all this time. I haven't really maintained my locks. It's just becoming tighter. Like, I don't know if the description I'm giving to those that don't have locks understand, but those that do understand what I'm explaining in time when your locks get to this point, they've reached maturity so much. They're still finding their ways, looping how they want, and the tightness is just becoming a lot. I'll have headaches sometimes. It just adds to the list of reasons why. Another reason why I wanted to also take out my locks for a while now is because I felt like with one of my lessons of rebalancing my masculine energy and tapping into that with my warrior spirit, that protection that I was mentioning before, I feel like with that lesson, I've gone through that stage of healing that side of myself, and I'm ready to tap back into my feminine energy and nourish her and take care of her again and fill my cup back up. That would be another reason why. And I want to say 2 more points. This is a big one. I feel like I'm ready to reveal myself again through my metamorphosis on my confidence, the strength behind my locks that I've gained and gathered because of my ancestors. I've been blessed with the genetics that I've been given through my long lineage. My family are the reasons why my hair has been able to lock up the way that they have. I'm very thankful in the time frame and period that I am in, that I was born into, that I am able to present and cherish a hairstyle that I know some of my ancestors either have or either weren't allowed to for long periods of time or just couldn't. I'm just very proud and thankful for being able to, and just basically what I've took on that I did. Not talking about my locks, but just talking about without going into it, like my long-term relationship. For me to be out of that, I am stepping into who Charlotte really is at this point in time in my life. A great metamorphosis moment for me to go through as a transition. Show Charlotte again. Charlotte's still here with her locks or without. I just feel like it just adds another reason to what's happening in my head. A big major one is I'm ready to release the emotions, just anything that my locks have taken on through the years. They have been there for me through thick and thin for 6.5 years, through the happy, through the really terrible hard times. That is life. I just am so happy with what I've done in my time with them. It is a bit of a struggle to think about taking them out. I know I'm going to be very emotional during this video, so I asked you guys very kindly in the comments, just please be cautious of what you say, regardless if it's me or just anyone's channel, especially when they're sharing such a vulnerable moment with you and being open. Just please be courteous and just be aware of what you're saying to people. One thing to remember with this type of journey, everyone's journey is different, and we should all be respectful of the reasons why one does start them. Why I started and why I am completing my journey with them may not be the same reasons as someone else's, just as the same as how everyone's journey in life is. To each of their own, everyone's path is different. We're here to live the best life for ourselves. With that being said, and hopefully a little bit of clarification if you guys lasted through this part of the video, let's jump into transformation. Oh my god. I broke a piece of cone. This is the size of my fucking head. It's almost 6:15 and I think I'm gonna call it for night 1.
I had like a mini purge of spit, throw up, like come out, like there's nothing in the throw up, it's just like light. And I feel this intense buildup as I keep progressing, as I'm brushing this lock. Ow. Backup is finally here, so I need the help. 25 inches. With the little wisp at the end. Hi! My hair ended up looking. Yeah. Bam. I'm gonna be real, it's kind of hitting me now that this is finally done.